In 2013, at the Electronic Entertainment Expo, game studio Ubisoft unveiled a project that would go on to spark a new franchise known as Watch Dogs, all starting with the eponymous first title, Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs takes place in a realistic American setting where private tech company Bloom has created a computer network known as the Central Operating System, or CTOS, in which all technology, both publicly and privately owned, is connected online. This is similar to what is called the Internet of Things, in which real-world companies put out devices to send data back to that company for future use, but on a city-wide scale across multiple companies and even the government. In the first game, the potential dangers of CTOS are explored but are a secondary aspect of the plot until the sequel, Watch Dogs 2, holds Bloom as a direct antagonist, exposing just how this Internet of Things has turned into a major scandal in which citizens are taken advantage of by major corporations through the extreme collusive monopoly that is CTOS. About 64 years earlier, author Eric Arthur Blair, writing under the pseudonym George Orwell, had his ninth and last novel, 1984, published, depicting a dystopian future in which the government holds total control over its people and their lives, and technology is used exclusively to maintain that power by keeping people ignorant, weak, and exposed. 1984 went on to be known as one of the most influential books of all time and had many of its original phrases and ideas, now known as Orwellian, implemented in modern media, including real political discussions. Though the settings aren't exactly the same, Watch Dogs is not subtle with the inspiration it took from Orwell.
It's Big Brother and Little Brother all rolled up into one.
Oh, you want the precious pros to adore you? Not on my f***ing watch.
I can't believe people let them grab so much power. All that sci-fi we read as kids, Big Brother, thought control, pre-crime, it's all here now, isn't it? Thanks to Bloom and their CTOS. Those authors saw it coming decades ago. But nobody listened. Everybody's too sold on pleasant corporate platitudes and flawless branding to realize the whole damn thing's a societal Trojan.
But the comparisons are most striking in the second game in the series, Watch Dogs 2, and that is what we will be looking at today. As I said before, in the first game, CTOS was mostly just a part of the world, a passive thing that both the protagonist and antagonist had to live with, but in this game it is the antagonist, the system as a whole is the villain. Obviously, Bloom is the stand-in for the party and Big Brother, and their hacker group rivals, DedSec, is the supposed Brotherhood, both being disjointed underground groups of people united not by leaders, but by their ideas and unwavering drive to overthrow their seemingly unstoppable oppressors.
You the leader?
The fine world. Nah, man, it doesn't work like that. DedSec's got a rule. No personal armies, no leaders.
Despite being the protagonist faction, DedSec as a whole is not objectively a heroic group, as the first game portrays that corruption exists even within DedSec, and the tactics they use to achieve their admittedly heroic goals can be considered less than righteous, taking advantage of the same systems that Bloom and its associates do, and committing several other petty crimes such as thievery and assault. In the world of Watch Dogs, people must make a choice between trusting the corporations that take advantage of them for the promise of safety, or siding with the dangerous hacktivist groups for a chance to change things at the risk of being caught or becoming a monster themselves. In fact, a major plot point of the story is that the CTO of Bloom, Dusan Nemec, was purposefully, anonymously providing support to DedSec in order to publicly demonstrate the danger of these hacker groups and scare more people into siding with him.
The people want to be told who is good and who is bad. They don't care how it works.
You're frightened. The rest is Silicon Valley right to my doorstep.
You use us to sell CTOS 2.0 to them.
It was the ultimate deterrent against hackers like you. And now, everyone needs my protection.
Conveniently, though, the San Francisco division of DedSec, the one you follow in Watch Dogs 2, appears to have good intentions and attempts to be the loud, proud voice of the people rather than a shadowy secret society as the Chicago division was in the first game. Notice especially that this is the first group that directly aims to shut down Bloom and the CTOS, something that would benefit the public but also directly hurt themselves as most of their power comes directly from exploiting the system. And that's where you come in. In this game, the player takes control of Marcus Holloway, a man wrongfully convicted of a crime because CTOS's predictive algorithms deemed him most likely to do it. This spawned a personal hatred of the system within Marcus and shows a prime example of what can go wrong with such automated policing. Your very first mission is to wipe your identity from Bloom's database, and soon you become an extremely valuable member of DedSec, mastering the arts of hacking, infiltration, subtlety, and grace. The objective of this game is simple.
We spent all night modifying our app so you can get followers to download the app and we can use their processing power for the cause.
The way you gain followers is by pulling publicity stunts, spreading propaganda such as graffiti and videos, and most importantly, exposing one by one how each major organization in San Francisco abuses CTOS and the people for malicious ends.
The foundation of their entire religion. Rows of ancient Sumerian tablets. Why aren't they in a museum? I mean, what gives the church the right to keep these hidden away from us? So much rich history. I mean, I am so glad to be a part of all the— No. They're fucking fake.
Eventually, you and your color-coded band of millennials commit enough corporate espionage to take the fight to Bloom directly, and while you're able to push back CTOS considerably and get Dushan, the main puppeteer, arrested, DedSec reminds us,
they will scapegoat him, paint him as a rogue element, claim it was a singular random incident, but we won't let him off the hook so easily.
In both the postscript and the appendix of 1984, it is clarified that the purpose of the novel is to be a warning. Big Brother and the Party, similar to CTOS and Bloom, are extremist but not entirely unrealistic examples of what can happen if the warnings these fictions put forward are not listened to. I believe the intended message and what one can learn from both 1984 and Watch Dogs 2 is to always be perceptive and think critically about everything you see and hear and how you form your opinions and ideas around them. Just make sure it doesn't backfire and lead you against common sense.
DedSec has given you the truth. Do what you will.